Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Masks, the Green Sun Part 11, the final episode of our Masks Green Sun campaign. Today is June 17th, 2021, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, including full playthroughs of Curse of Strahd, Ghost of Saltmarsh, Waterdeep Dragon Heist, Tomb of Annihilation, Tyrant Security, and starting tomorrow, I guess, you can find the entire series of our Masks Green Sun campaign also on that YouTube or anywhere audio casts are made available for free. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk that you would like to get answered, feel free to join us on that Patreon, or you can join us on Discord. The link can be found in the Twitch chat right now, because I remembered to push the button as I was speaking, or in the description of this link, or in the description of this video, audiocast, wherever it is you happen to be viewing or listening to us from. We always try and make it readily available. But if you already support us on Patreon, you already support us on YouTube and Twitch and all of those other wonderful spaces, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this wonderful show even more? Guess what, buddy? I got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, and guess what? We also have face masks. That's right, we have Tia masks, masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, done by our very own Cyberwolf1201, where all of the proceeds of those masks end up going to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause, or possibly help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is indooradventure.redbubble.com. Hi, Liz MacDad. Thanks for coming by.
Oh.
Also, before we begin, I would like to say thank you to Reeves and thank you to Blink Dog for the sub bombs that they dropped in the chat. We got a total of 15 additional subs at the beginning before we even started. That's fucking nuts to me, but hey, what better way to start off this final session of Masks than with a bang? Our dear friend Greybeard of Greybeard Tavern is also running a bit behind. He just got out of work, so he is going to be coming in by the seat of his pants here shortly. So we are going to be starting up in the meantime. But GB, if you are listening to this, feel free to just join anytime and I can rearrange the layout. That's no worries. So with that in mind, that is it for my spiel. Hey, KyleWithAnN, who you playing today?
Hi everyone, I'm KyleWithAnN. I use she, her pronouns, and for the last time, I will be playing Aurora, the star, who also uses she, her.
Hi everyone, my name is Satan, and today I'll be playing Luciana, aka Aftershock, the Reformed, and we both use she, they pronouns.
Hey, what's Reeves? It's up, boy, yeah. And I'm playing Crow. Sorry, I think I got those words in the wrong order. It's your boy Reeves, and I'll be playing Crow, the Janus. Yeah.
And I am the indoor adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be your voice in the sky. So, last time we left off, you guys had eventually made your way to the test facility. You're guessing that it was the McFarlane's testing facility that was making these super-powered pills, these power poppers, as we had aptly called them. And upon creating a foolproof plan that involved setting off some earthen explosions, as well as just, like, watching Golden Gauntlet, aka Cody, crash through a series of walls, you were able to actually get inside this testing facility, making your way down to the second floor of said building. You ended up finding a member of the Friday Night Hero Training Squad, a hero by the name of, well, codenamed Blowhard. You never actually found out his real name. No one asked, and at this point, I'm too afraid to. Was inside of a glass cage and was pounding, trying to get out. It was at that point that you attempted to free him. making your way out of the path of quite a bit of bullet fire. In the process, Luciana, you and Caleb broke through the glass as this gas began to pour in, and in doing so, the two of you ended up suffering. Well, suffering is putting it in a more negative spin. The two of you began vibing really fucking hard based off of this super-powered gas that you had inhaled. Luciana, you experiencing a almost like a barrier breaking in your mind that was preventing you from unleashing your full capabilities with your powers. And Caleb, you gaining the ability to communicate with all birds in a 1 mile radius from where you were. It was a righteous time and continued to be so until you reached the end of the hallway. Once inside, there was a giant vat of glowing green liquid, a individual that you had recognized also from the Friday Night Hero training sessions that looked like they were being not operated on, but more like dissected and diagrammed. And Luciana, in a fit of vibing too hard for your own good rage, you tipped over this large vat of green liquid, causing 3 of these scientists to begin to merge into a large fleshy contraption that began just like taking in everything around it. The 4 of you said, you know what? All of this seems like a bad fucking time. And Aurora, you and Caleb ended up exiting to make your way to the security room so that way you could warn everybody else here that, hey, some bad shit was about to start. Speaking of said bad shit starting, Luciana, as Aftershock, you brought down the house on top of this large fleshy creature, and Golden Gauntlet, while fighting against this sort of like bronzed golem that was, you assume, working for the Cult of Vulcan, just sort of like bamped that dude into the giant fleshy mass. And as the lot of you made your way out and were successful in your escape, you waited and watched as there was this large depression where the parking lot used to be. And after a series of these red lightning bolts that had come down, you watched as what you would assumed would be just the Avatar of Vulcan making their way out had with them this sort of fleshy mass that began to reconstruct itself onto the individual. And they looked towards your group with purpose, but not being able to detect you. A lightning bolt was called down to them yet again, and they disappeared. Your group decided, okay, now is easily the best time to get the fuck out of here. And that is where we left off, was with your group making your way out. Cody seemed like he was in good spirits, all things considered. I think for the purpose of driving home and getting all of that taken care of, Cody is going to be, he will be reassuring in statements that he will be giving, because he doesn't necessarily see this as a bad thing, because to him, you guys brought down the bad guy's facility, and that's a win. Although he is rather concerned about the golem who absorbed the John Carpenter Thing style flesh amalgam. So that is where Cody stands, at least until GB is able to join us. But in the meantime, the 3 of you are making your way back. And as Caleb, as you can, and Luciana as well, as you feel the effects of this gas begin to wear off, like, you feel congested, like you have a stuffy nose, and as you go to sort of like try and like breathe in and like clear your sinuses as best you can feel it, like a little bit of it like running onto your lip. And as you go to check and we're like breathe in and like try and clear your nose, it has the scent of iron, and there is blood coming from your nose. In this moment, as you feel, Luciana, and as well as Caleb, you would both be able to recognize it as possibly a horrible hangover. It feels like it is just like nestled in that frontal lobe and it does not want to go away.
Oh God, am I driving?
You were.
So in the middle of driving, Luciana's just gonna go like, "Oh fuck," and I feel like the car swerves a bit.
Cody is fine, and he says that he is willing to drive. If like this is gonna keep happening, he would rather be the one behind the wheel.
Yeah, she's gonna like get out of the front seat and let him drive.
Aurora's gonna be like looking around for like cup holder napkins.
There's probably like the glove compartment is full of like takeout napkins.
There's like it's like 3 misplaced Taco Bell hot sauce packets and then like just a stack of napkins.
I've got a pack of tissues in my cloak.
Of course you do.
We are headed to the hospital, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
because you have the
drop off
body of
Blowhard.
Blowhard with you. And they do not look good. Their breathing is ragged, which in a way is almost reassuring because the last time they were able to take a deep breath, they summoned a tornado level twister or like a tornado level gust towards you. Do you have them in the back seat or are they like in the bed of the truck?
I figured that they were like
In
laid
the back
across
seat.
my lap and
Yeah.
Cody's.
Okay. Well, now they are laying across your lap and Luciana's. My bad. I've never called you by that name. I don't know why I'm going to start now.
Me.
And Luciana's.
I feel like I'm in trouble now.
Power.
You're not. We'll call you Satan. It's fine. So Blowhard is laying on top of both of your laps, just passed out, not looking too great. Again, like it's almost like when you see athletes who have been just like working out a shit ton and then they have like they just have those like really predominant veins. That is what Blowhard has.
I think in the meantime, Luciana's gonna try and dial up her Thea.
Okay.
And if she picks up, she's gonna let her know. Because if they just drop off this body, there's gonna be questions.
Hey, we found this guy again. Like,
yeah. So she's gonna call up her Thea, who hopefully is like during a shift. And whether it's through a shuffle or like through the hospital itself, to let her know that they're gonna be dropping off someone who has been drugged multiple times for the past however long when they went to the however long between now and when they found the hole in the wall of where they met. I don't know.
okay. Yeah, so
Words are hard for me right now.
all things considered, since you guys found the hole, it has been like 2 days.
Okay.
Like your Tia is like, if anything, is like you have text messages on your phone being like, "Where are you? Why aren't you resting?"
Shh, just don't ignore that.
An alien gave me some drugs that he made out of trash, and now I feel fine.
She's not gonna respond to that. She's just gonna say, "Listen, we're gonna drop him off at the emergency entrance thing. He's been drugged up multiple times for the past 2 days.
Okay.
He's super. Be careful."
Yeah. And she is, I feel like she's very understanding of the fact that this is not a situation for her to berate you. You sound worried. You are talking about, hey, we have a body with us. They're still alive. They're not like a deceased body, but it's still a body nonetheless.
Yeah. So yeah, she's just hoping she'll meet them like at the hospital and help out.
Yeah.
So they don't just bring a suspicious body to like doctors and they're like, "You need to wait. The cops are gonna come."
Alrighty. And Caleb, you are still in full costume. Are you just gonna like roll up to the hospital as well, or are you gonna be like, hey, drop me off at the corner so that way I can change?
I was kind of thinking I was just gonna like slink down into the back seat.
Okay.
That's probably like Cody and Luciana. Codyanna.
That's the name of a ship that will never sail.
Yep.
All right, so
Yeah, and just like chill in the car.
okay, so yeah, you guys end up pulling up to the hospital. It takes roughly about, you guys were like 45 minutes out of town, so it's going to take you about 50 minutes, closer to an hour to actually get there. Mostly because you're also like, Caleb, you know that Cody, if you tell him to drive fast and reckless to get to where he needs to be, he'll do it. Boy, will he do it. But like, this is one of those like, we need to obey the law this time. I know we just got done breaking it, but like, we need to just be cool for a brief second. To which he seems to be like, kind of like, but we'll get there faster. Like, somebody's in trouble. Like, he is very much like trying to like, can we please go faster? But then like, as you're driving, you see like 3 state cops along the side of the road. Like, one of the cops is actually like outside of their car. They seem to have pulled somebody over, and as you pass by, you see that the person that they pulled over is like a very worried looking like service tech that was at the facility, who looks like they were driving very fast to get away, but speeding is wrong. So
is there a bird in the area that I can reach out?
yeah, Mephistopheles is always tagging along.
I tell him to just, drop one on the window, the front window.
Oh yeah, he's been saving it for this special occasion. So he does, and then we'll return to you. So yeah, you guys make your way to the hospital. That is fine. Quickly, you managed, like, as you arrive and get out of the car, like, the hospital staff is, like, it's some of the same people are still on staff, like, not, like, the same, like, shift, obviously, but, like, the same crew is there to, like, you guys brought us, where are you finding these people? Like, are you the ones overdosing them? Like, what the shit is this? And just like very quickly, like, here's the body. They're on a lot of drugs, weird drugs. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, bye. At least I'm assuming that it's going to be an bye situation. Cause like, your friends in costume in the back seat.
Yeah.
You don't really want to be sticking around here.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, so, but your Tia, will ask, like, where did you find this guy? What was happening? Like, she is, like, just trying to get, like, the very basic information so that way she can deliver it to the rest of the emergency techs.
She will, let her Tia know, like, I know this sounds crazy, but they were experimenting on him. Some sort of weird drug for superpowered people. It's been consistent for lots of days from what we can see. He needs help, but he is a super, so if he's disoriented when he wakes up, be careful.
And she just like a Dios mio really quick of like, oh my God. And then nods, tells you to be careful. And then she just gets like roped in to the rest of this.
Yeah.
Are any of the documents I stole pertinent to this? At least the like paper, like would they be useful to turn over?
The documents that you find are, or the documents that you found were about, they will be useful, but it's talking about like dosage levels, and it looks like this has been going on for roughly 9 days.
Eesh.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that's, I think Caleb would be like going over at least the stuff that he got in the room on the drive there, and he would like slip the papers to Luciana as they were going to see
Yeah.
Tia and be like, these are probably going to be useful.
Yeah. I think she will show him them, like read through them and give the important, but she'll also say like, we need to call up that reporter and bring this to her now.
I also need to like go home now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
is
also
getting
have-
later on in the evening.
Yeah.
I also have the photos and video I took in the facility, which might lend a little more credibility to our story.
Yeah. So
Which I think Aurora's gonna like pull up and see if she can identify who the person was they were like dissecting. I don't imagine she'll be able to, but she's gonna still.
Yeah. So Luciana, you and Caleb would both be able to recognize the individual. This is former would-be hero Cloud Jumper.
Luciana will let her know that and just tell Caleb we'll drop you off. And Aurora, come with me and we'll call the reporter lady.
Aye aye.
And then Cody rode his dirt bike, I think, into town initially and like left it at your
think
house.
so.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
that
I'll
was
drop
what had
him off
happened.
by the house to pick up his dirt bike.
Yeah, and he'll be the one to drive Caleb home first because he still isn't sure about you behind the wheel. And then after that, he'll like go back to your house and then
Yeah.
just like, just want to make sure that you and Aurora are both safe, and like definitely like hand on a shoulder that sort of lingers for a little bit on Aurora and then just like nods and then like,
Okay.
yep. Like again, he is making sure that his love as the bull is safe and sound.
Okay. Harold. With that, Luciana will call the reporter.
Okay. Yeah, so you contact Barbara Witherspoon, and she is it's late at this point, but and when you get a hold of her, she does sound like not necessarily beleaguered, but tired. And just like starts off with a like almost like a what is it this time? Because the last time that you contacted her, you were just like, hey, I need a job, but like not for me, for someone else.
Yeah. She will be like, just give a rundown of like the situation at the stadium happened because someone slipped superpowered drugs into her drink, and we have evidence of the facility and what they were doing there.
Okay. And that seems to light a fire under her. And she says, what kind of evidence do you have?
Pictures, videos, paperwork, first-hand accounts.
And she says, or just like quickly asks, like, where are you? She wants to set up a meeting to see if she can get this like to acquire this from you.
She will give the address of the takeout place.
Okay.
That I don't doubt is maybe a few minutes walk from her.
Oh yeah. And when you like give the address, like I imagine it's like you give the address And then the response is like, oh, the Chinese place. Like Barbara, like
Yeah.
she knows the good Chinese food place.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, I'd say that like you wait for maybe like 10, 15 minutes. And then she drives a Mini Cooper, but what color should it be?
I feel like Barbara's like either like a red car type of gal or a silver car type of gal.
You considered Mary Kay Pink.
Mary Kay Pink?
Mary Kate Pink.
Okay, so, well, yes, that is clearly what has to happen for Barbara Witherspoon. So, like, this pink Mini Cooper rolls up, and, like, she's, like, it's like a trench coat kind of thing, like, hat, dark glasses, like, she can't be seen getting information in this place. It is dark out. But the car is, like, a
Carmen
dead
Sandiego.
giveaway.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Should we be in costumes? I mean, you're Aurora, so
Oh, roar.
yeah.
No costume necessary. Everyone
Yeah.
knows who the star is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she'll just go as herself then.
Okay.
And just kind of wave her down, sort of discreetly, but like, what the fuck is she doing? Kind of look on her face.
Yeah, and she comes up and asks, like, were you followed? Like, did anybody see you while you were there? How did you get this information? She
Don't
has to know
worry.
how, or else it runs the risk of not being a viable news source. Because her, like, if she just says, "Oh, like somebody that I know told me about this stuff and handed me some papers, I'm gonna write this article and go up against like a major pharmaceutical company that you're saying is also connected to a major tech company that are
Yeah.
like backbone industries of the town." Like, that could end really poorly on her. So, like,
Yeah.
is this information accurate? How did you come across it?
She'll kind of look at Aurora and then look at the lady and say, "We were there."
And she says, like, on the job? How recent
Yeah.
ago were you there?
Few hours.
An hour or two ago.
And she asks if she can see the information.
Yeah, she'll hand over the paperwork and let Aurora show her the pictures and videos.
And I feel like it's one of those things where she like looks at the pictures, watches the video of like a horror being born, and she like, you could like, sunglasses at night slide down, her eyes are wide, jaws like dropped a little bit, like, oh my god.
Dead bodies being dissected.
Yeah, like, you guys were like, hey, we got a big scoop for you, here's a corpse. Like,
Here's an eldritch horror.
yeah, like, that is definitely not what she was expecting. But she is she's fairly confident that like this, like, if they run this, like, if and when they run this story, like, there has to be absolutely zero certainty in this.
She
Or like
will-
absolute certainty in this, like zero room for error, because if she even presents this could be her job. Like, this is a make or break story for her to go from
Luciana
like
will tell
local
her-
reporter to like
Yeah.
big reporter. GB, welcome.
Yay!
Wahoo!
I'm the voice in the sky now. Oh.
I've seen your Sunday show. It'll be fine.
Luciana will tell her there is someone who they tested on who is still alive and is in the hospital right now.
And she says that when they wake up, like what's their name?
If it's on the paperwork, she'll let her know, but like
Yeah.
if not, she'll say like we only know him by a code name, Blowhard.
And she just is like, that's a terrible name. Whoever was building this world really just like screwed the pooch on all of these lesser heroes.
Yeah.
So yeah, she is definitely going to speak with them after all this is said and done, and she appreciates that you have come to her with this.
Yeah, and she'll just gives like look into God. I forgot Guardian's real name.
Lorraine Windermere.
Lorraine Windermere. But if you have the Midas app, that is a tracking app. It has happened to us, just in case.
Yeah, she will do like, again, she like appreciates all of the information that you have given her on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't tell anybody you saw me.
And she says, as long as you're a reliable source, your identity is safe.
Yeah.
So that is like she gives you a vote of confidence that she will be working on this story to like put together like an expose on the horrors that are happening at the pharmaceutical company.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So GB, recap. Since you were joining late, you guys left. Luciana and Kayla both started getting nosebleeds and horrible migraines, having been exposed to the power gas. So Cody thought to himself, well, that's not very safe. I'll drive then. So you drove them into town, dropped Blowhard off at the hospital, and then drove Caleb to the gas station where he normally gets out, and you normally pick him up from, and then drove back to Aurora's house, or drove back to Luciana's house, got on your dirt bike, and like hand on the shoulder to Aurora, just like, I'm glad you and Luciana are both okay. And then onto the dirt bike, and like away you went. So then Luciana and Aurora, is there anything that the two of you are going to be doing for the rest of the evening? Staying over at each other's house, supporting one another via cuddles to remove conditions. That has been a thing.
Please, I have so many conditions.
Okay.
I think Aurora's like just gonna like check in and be like, how are you? I know things were pretty, I mean, let's not mince words. Things were pretty fucked back there.
Yeah, there was a dead body in a fleshy thing.
And you were drugged. You were straight up drugged.
Yeah, that was that shit's no joke. I shouldn't have been able to throw that metal man through the floor as easy as I did.
Well, that's why we have to put a stop to it. How we put a stop to it? Do you think destroying the factory would stop it? I don't really know.
It might delay it, but
we gotta shut down this whole operation, though. Everything. So no one has to see that, feel that.
I mean, it felt amazing, not gonna lie, but right now
Well,
I feel like I have 3 hangovers, one on top of the other, and my head wants to pop like a melon.
I mean, I'm sure it felt great for you, but Cosmo was fucking, you know, it was really scary. And I don't want that to happen to anyone else.
No, it's I mean, you saw Blowhard. That's just bad. I'm just gonna try and sleep it off.
Okay. Get some rest.
You want to still stay over, or?
I mean, do you think we're still in danger?
Yeah. Plus, it'll make me feel better.
Okay, I'll stay.
All right. So, Aurora, roll 2 comfort or support.
Yeehaw! That's mundane, if I remember right.
Yes.
Which my mundane is now 0. Whoop! All right, comfort and support. There we go. All right. That is. Oh wait, wrong one. That is a 7.
7's a hit. So, Luciana, you are able to clear 1 condition. What condition are you clearing?
I have afraid, angry, guilty, and insecure. So, let's see. I think because of the situation, despite the roll stuff, I think maybe guilty. So yeah, I'll take away guilty.
Okay. So we're going to then move over to Caleb. Caleb, you've been dropped off nearest the gas station where you are able to change out of your hero costume back into your regular people clothes, which just feel so much more freeing after a night like this. But you do have a collection of hard drives with you that you know have security footage on them. And as you are making your way home, you can see that the light is still on in your brother's room as well. So what is Caleb's modus operandi for the evening? I'm guessing that he's just sort of like scanning through the security footage that he has gathered.
Yeah, I think as they were about as far out as it would take time for him to bike home, like shot his brother a message, like I'm on my way back if, the family asks. And when he gets home, he like puts his bike by his window where he usually does, and then he just goes around the house to his brother's window and like opens it up.
Okay.
Unless the like blinds are completely down.
The blinds are down, but the window is still open, and it smells rather fresh coming from your brother's room. So you know that he's home.
Yeah. I like knock twice to make sure that I don't like just scare the total shit out of him as I'm like coming in the window.
You knock twice and you hear the sound of a glass something or other tipping over, followed by a shit. And then there's a quick scrabble, and then the window pops up, and then like as you're climbing in, you can see that there is a fresh pool of water next to what looks like an oddly shaped vase.
Nice face, bro.
And as you come in, he says, like, one, he's worried about you, just like, well, why aren't you coming through my window? Why do you always come through the window? Like, why not just go through? Like, you could have just knocked on the door.
The window's faster. Right. Anyway, I was just gonna go over some of this footage that I have, and I thought you might be interested in maybe happening to see it. Just so you aren't liable in anything.
Liable in anything? What? Like, what footage?
You got that thing plugged in, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
was supposed to get like the layout of a building or something.
Yeah, that's where we have to go next. But I'll show you where I was tonight.
Okay.
And I think I take the ones that I pulled from the computer directly,
Okay.
and I start with those because I figure those will have all the most recent video.
They do. They do not show a lot of cameras down at the sub level where you guys were at, where there ended up being the John Carpenter flesh monster. But it still shows like security cam footage of what looks like a just golden dude like breaking through a wall. 3 people come in behind them, one of them just looking like a magical girl. Whereas the other's like hard-looking biker, and then you. And there is like he just watches, like you guys just watch the camera footage. Do you like just let it go one for one, or are you like just watching it at like I want to say like 3 times speed, something like that?
Probably like 3 times speed and like or like 1.5 times speed to start with, as I'm like filling him in on the basic level of details. Like, we are pretty sure that the pharmaceutical company that was just acquired is trying to make super pills, aka power poppers. We found what we thought was the facility where we were making them, so we raided it. And we found exactly what we thought we would. We found one person, fortunately still alive. We got them to the hospital, but being juiced by this gas, and I breathed in some myself. It was a lot of power.
And at that, your brother looks worried.
I think I'll be fine. I tried to hold my breath as much as possible. I only breathed in a little, but they had been experimenting on him for 9 days at least.
And your brother, again, he looks very worried. And as you're watching this, he says that he doesn't think that it's just the pharmaceutical company. When you had him plug in the USB vape stick, while it was doing its job, and he was kind of left alone for a little bit while the guy who was supervising him went to use the restroom, he started to just kind of quickly dig around a little bit, as much as he could, see like what he had access to, what he didn't have access to, what the guy who was supervising him had access to, because he didn't Windows key L before he left the room. Like an absolute fool, did not lock his computer. And as he was looking around, he found out that he could actually access Sedesco's desktop. And so he just did a quick copy paste, like everything that he had like easily available on his desktop onto the USB as well. And he will pull up a document that he found, and he is gonna ask if like he's gonna say like you should read this. And Caleb, as you begin reading the document, you see that it is a like a press release that is still in the process of being written, but it is talking about an event that has not happened. You see written out in this press release that it starts with, "My dear citizens of Everett Heights, it is with heavy heart that we stand united on this day. Our very own Midgrove may be destroyed, but together we shall stand united." And as you continue to read, this is a press release that is set to be, well, released next Thursday. And it talks about the destruction of Midgrove, as well as a large portion of the industrial center.
I think Caleb, as he's reading it, kind of shakes his head. This is not what I expected to read, but it tracks. They literally stole an alien spaceship. And I don't care if you believe me, I have literally met said alien.
And Caleb, the other most defining moment of this press release, Sedesco says that he's going to be running for mayor.
I don't like that either.
And when you say
Who's
that
our
you've met
current
an
mayor,
alien and that there's they stole an alien ship, your brother, like, red eyes, just... What did he look like? Was it like one of the Greys? Like, inside?
No, he was like an insect man. He was kind of like leathery with like also a carapace, like kind of like a turtle shell,
That's wild.
but like insect. He literally, bro. He whips off his glasses. He literally fixed my eyes.
That's intense.
These are fake glasses. Here, look.
Your brother sort of like holds them up to the light and tilts them. Just, where did you get fake ones? And like, he's just like very like, what the fuck? Like, he's curious about this as well. But then at the same time, like, the both of you realize maybe we should be talking about the letterhead and not just these glasses.
I guess I have connections now. Since he puts them back on.
And then your brother mentions something about maybe he should get himself a set of connections as well.
They're pretty nice. But if I have connections and you have me, I'm pretty sure you have connections?
He like has this like, oh my god, you're right. Like, he just like, clearly this was the way things were supposed to go.
Yeah, and I think like they just continue like talking about it as the night goes on, and Crow scans through some equipment until they like both just fall asleep.
Okay. As you continue to look through the old security footage, it's maybe dated about like 4 or 5 days ago. As you're scanning through it, just like trying to blast through as much of this footage as you can, using as many like multi-window VLC player, like, let's fucking go. But you see two familiar individuals, and they are standing in they have just entered into a room together. You recognize these individuals as, one, Lorraine Windmere, aka Guardian, and two, the Pale Rider, also the villain formerly known as Apex. And so you like mute all of the other windows, you put all those on pause, raise the volume slider as to what these two could possibly be saying, because any amount of information that you're going to be getting is going to be helpful in the process of trying to combat these two. And you hear the following conversation between the two of them. From Lorraine, who is looking towards Apex, and like her back is towards the camera, and you can see Apex like from the top looking down. And she says, "We needed the boy blessed by the gods, not that screw up you used to disturb the peace with." And he says, "You don't understand. We could have used her to what? She might have powers, but there will be others like her. But that boy, Gauntlet or whatever he's calling himself, has the demi-gene which we need for Eden. Don't you understand? I understand perfectly fine, but we have to have her on our side. Then we could. And you see Lorraine just backhand him. Just straight up, and his head is tilted off to the side, abruptly cutting him off. And she says, the boy. That's all. Once we have him, then you can chase after her to your heart's content. But until then, think who you work for. You might think you're strong, but you might be, you might think you're strong, but you are replaceable. Pale Rider, please, you are nothing but a worm to me, and I can put you in the ground just as easily. Remember that. And Pale Rider, with his face to the side, brings up the back of his hand and wipes some blood from his lip that was there from when she had backhanded him. And he says, yes, Miss Blight. And at that, you hear her say, good. And she turns around and walks out of the room. And as she does, you see Pale Rider level up his hand like it would be a gun. And like thinks about it for a second and then just puts his hand down to the side. And then he leaves the room as well.
Yeah, I think Crow and his brother just both like,
And your brother, like, after watching this, just, oh, fuck, she was the lady from the coffee shop.
yeah,
That's not good. That is not good. Man, I'm too high for this. This is not good.
I'm sorry, bro.
Fuck. Man, I need, like, snacks or something, man.
I pull out my backpack and I like stashed up on everything he could want from the convenience store.
He just like safety bag of chips. Like he just needs to munch right now.
I feel like he is a big fan of bugles. I don't know why, but that's just the vibe I get.
He likes to put them on his fingers like he's a witch.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
But I immediately cut that and make it its own separate file so I can send it easily to everyone. I wait till morning to send anything to anyone because I want to make sure everyone like gets a little sleep.
It's been a busy Saturday. And as you are and your brother, it's like, I want to say by the time you're getting to this part, it's like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Like, it's fucking late. But looking at the building, like looking at the layout of the building that you had initially been getting, you see that there is, like, it looks like a standard structure. There doesn't seem to be anything like off-putting or extra about it. But the thing that is really telling is that there is and you can tell that there's a crazy amount of power draw being used by lower levels. But there's more power than there is like room for equipment. Like, unless they were just straight up mining Bitcoin in the bottom of this building, there is no conceivable way that they could use up that much electricity with the size that they are given.
Okay, so it seems like I have a general location of where a spaceship might be with a energy source.
You're guessing, yes.
Our capabilities. Yeah. I also had a thought. I don't actually text anyone any of this information. I just send a tree emoji and a time first thing in the morning. Like 10 a.m.
Okay. Yeah, and Cody, you are like on your bike, broom, 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 like going very quickly down the highway. Obvious, like you're trying to like take as many back roads as you possibly can, because I don't think that dirt bikes are necessarily like highway legal, but you know, it's late. No one stopped you yet. I mean, there's some people who have thought about stopping you, and you just like hop off the road and fuck around in the trails for a little bit until they disappear, and then you hop back on and keep doing what you were doing.
Yup.
Yeah, and Cody,
Never done that in real life. Not
no, definitely not. No. But yeah, so by the time that you get home, G-Paw is asleep. But there is, like, you just feel weird about everything that happened today. Like, you watched that, like, golem dude turn into a flesh creature that, like, formed back on to turn into his golden, like, his bronzed self. You know that you've been, like, there was that, like, a part of you that felt like you and he have been having this confrontation for ages. And it just feels weird. Like, you're not sure if it's because, like, you feel like maybe they have a one-up now or something, but, like, the balance has shifted and you're not sure how else to describe it.
I think maybe we get kind of a picture of like Cody up in the rafters of the barn with like the upper doors open and the moon coming in kind of thing, and him just staring at the moon, and you know, kind of he doesn't know he's doing it, but he's like maybe communing with the goddess. And that sort of thing, we just kind of get that silhouette of him sitting in the barn door, you know, in the big old moon up in the sky, kind of thing.
Yeah, like the moon looks like your shield, kind of thing. Like it is just that nice, perfect fullness, that kind of like glowing silver light. Normally, I mean, you are gold. There is a difference between gold and silver, but for a sense of understanding, it definitely does share that connection with you. Is there anything that Cody like thinks or emotes while he is accidentally communing?
It just, you know, he's going along that sort of that weirdness, that greatest battles kind of thing, and maybe he can't quite see them, but maybe there is that history occurring in the connection. He's kind of maybe more aware of what was going on in this cosmic struggle or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So even if it's subconscious.
Yeah, I think that with Cody, like, as you are focusing on this, you start like you'll close your eyes while you're looking at the moon, and you just have these flashbacks of like, it's like old movies. Like, it's like you see two people on rival pirate ships fighting each other. You see two people on like chariots next to each other, like fighting each other while the chariots are going at a perilous pace. And like each time that you have these flashbacks, and there's even like World War I, like in the trenches, you see like member of the Allies side and then member of the not Allies side, like both run out of bullets, but now like they have like bayonets like pressed up against each other. And it takes you, I want to say, it's probably at that one. It's probably at the one where it's World War I that you realize that what you're remembering aren't movies. These are things that you have seen before that are replaying like they are from cinema, but you have a sense that you were there. You have a weird sense of connection with these individuals that you would otherwise not have. And as you continue to like think about these and focus, you see those same symbols, that bident on one of these individuals, and then on the other, the symbol of Securitas. And each time they are combating each other, each time they are fighting, and each time it comes to a stalemate. But then you have a memory of an event that has not transpired. You feel yourself in this golden gauntlet form standing amongst rubble, but you are by yourself. And as you look up, you see that there are 4 individuals standing on a burning hillscape. There is an individual in white. There is an individual that looks like there are like a writhing mass growing from behind them. Another that looks like they are surrounded by flies. And then there they are. There is that one individual, the one with the bident upon their chest, stands upon the hillside as well. But you realize that there's no way that this is going to be the case. Because in this memory of things that have not yet transpired, you're alone. But you as Cody know that you aren't. You have a team to help you out. And maybe in some other situation, in some other time, this could have been you. And this is a warning of the events to come.
All right, GB has goosebumps, but
Hooray!
maybe that's it. Maybe Cody like blinks and looks down, kind of at the barnyard kind of thing, and he just sees his work boots, there, and he kind of nods, and then gets up, and we see the silhouette of him and the moon, and the moon. Maybe the moon was like a golden harvest moon sort of thing.
Hell yeah, I'm here for it.
Connect that. All right. And then, we just see him turn around and in cargo shorts and work boots and starts walking away out of the barn.
Yeah. And as you are walking away from the barn, that is where we are going to go on break for the evening. We're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place. Shit's about to get wild. So I hope you're ready for it. Grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend. We'll see you in 5. All right, everybody. See you soon. And we're back. Hello, everybody. We have returned to the final half of this session. A text message has gone out to Golden Gauntlet, Aurora, and Aftershock with just a tree and a time. And then during the break, Reeves, you had also said that Caleb wanted to also send out a few other messages as well.
Yeah, before I think even while he's looking through the footage, he sends a message to the number he has for Orb Weaver with the yet to be released press release, and a location to meet in the park at the same time, 10 a.m.
Okay. Sounds good. So, moving on to the following morning, we're just going to say that you guys can all reconvene at said tree at 10 a.m. Orb Weaver is there, but hanging out in the branches of the tree. They definitely weren't going to just show up out of costume for this thing. Are you guys in or out of costume as well?
I think Caleb would have encouraged you to come in costume.
Yeah, we'll be in costume. Aurora's Aurora, but
Okay. And then Caleb, are you also bringing your brother with?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, can I bring Fabrizio with me?
Fabrizio has been there. You brought him yesterday.
He hasn't left.
You showed him an alien with a bunch of tech, and this dude, like, why would he leave? This is a great time.
I don't know his job.
He called out fucking sick for this.
There's
think-
pizza here.
Also, my brother like comes dressed in the outfit he wore in his more punk days. Like
I
a leather
imagine your-
jacket with like spikes on it.
I imagine your brother has like a domino mask. Like he doesn't have like the full face covering or like the Mysterio like fishbowl thing. Like it's just the domino.
Yeah. Or even just a pair of sunglasses.
A pair of sunnies. He's got aviators. It looks fucking sweet.
Yeah. He looks like a punk. He's got the fingerless leather gloves.
But they have like padding on the knuckles when you're beating up the bad guys.
Yeah.
No one can see it because they have their motorcycle helmet, but Luciano's just giving him like a okay.
Like, where did Caleb find this greaser? Like,
Yeah, he's gonna start snapping at me.
yeah. Saying something about sharks and jets. You're not really sure. So, you guys end up going, and Orb Weaver kind of gives you this like says basically like, what's like, so why are you calling us all here? Hold on, you'll understand shortly. Boop, and then like door opens and Orb Weaver, secret tree, nice.
Don't worry, it gets better.
And as you all come down, you hear what kind of music would Fabrizio listen to?
I feel like
Is it Rainbow Maidens?
to keep with the tradition of what I'm used to in my family. I like to think it's like old salsa or merengue music.
It's old salsa for sure. So yeah, as you are you all enter into this tree, door closes behind. You hear Orb Weaver say something about like, this better not be a trap. And you all go down, and you following the sounds of salsa music, as well as like the scent of fresh pizza. You end up seeing on two seats, Fabrizio in one seat, just like working away on something, and then Thran is also working on something else. And as you arrive, you hear Orb Weaver, "Oh sweet Jesus, alien!" And just like, definitely one of those like the Spider-Man pointing memes.
Orb Weaver is not
like,
polite to
pointing at
point.
Yeah, it's also not polite to have a secret tree in the middle of the woods, but that's not stopping you all. What the hell is going on here?
I'd say it's pretty awesome. I'm not rude. This is Thram. They're a Thram.
Reeves, you're muted.
This is our friend, the alien Thran. We are trying to help him get his ship back from Sedesco. They are using it to create super drugs, and they are also going to try to destroy the myth, apparently.
The what?
Excuse me?
Oh, yeah. I'll send you guys that document. I have a whole presentation prepared.
PowerPoint slides?
I was up late because I've got a lot of information to convey to you. And yeah, he'll like I guess pull his laptop out of his bag and like look for a place where he can put it.
Fabrizio will help you hook up a projector.
Great, thank you.
And
yeah, and
like
he'll...
if anything, it's like you unplug an HDMI cable from one of the multi-monitor setups, plug that shit in, extend window display.
Hell yeah. And he like basically goes through everything we know for sure, like shows off the video of the conversation between our two nemesises, nemesi.
Nemesi.
Yeah, we'll put nemesi.
Nemesi.
Like the press releases, the building like schematics that he has with the like heat signatures and all that, and like the power draw, and like he goes through it all, and then at the end like finishes is like, so any questions?
Why is he so obsessed with me?
And like Orb Weaver like turns to look at you. Don't I know you
Why
from
is-
someplace?
This is out loud the thing of Pell Rider being like, no, she can help. We can use her.
Yeah, but like
Why
when
are
you
you
say
so
that,
obsessed
like
with
Orb
me?
Weaver like turns and looks and just, do I know you?
Do I know you?
I don't think so. Another
No,
time.
you know?
Okay, but also, why is she so obsessed with the Golden Gauntlet?
What's the Demigene?
What is? Well, I guess we kind of know what Project Eden is, don't we?
We just know it's a Project Eden. We don't know what the fuck it is.
Is it? Okay, I assumed it was some sort of like metahuman revolution, probably, but that's just a wild guess.
And the
But
big gold
considering that-
helmet is just looking at who's ever talking.
Yeah.
But like
Cody-
with the facts we have, that seems closest.
I don't. So probably definitely to do with the drugs, but then Sedesco seems like they're trying to. I don't know. They're trying to frame Supers for what's about to happen.
Whatever is going to happen, it definitely looks like it's for clout.
Whatever's going to happen is probably going to happen today. We just raided their secret facility that we know they were there. And I assume we're going to raid the headquarters today, because if we wait any longer, they're going to come for us.
Well, whatever's supposed to happen is supposed to happen. This is set to release Thursday.
Yeah, but that was before we did what we did.
Which is, you mind filling in the rest of the class on that one?
Yeah, sorry. I
So
don't
from
have
the beginning.
Aurora has the footage for this one. We raided a facility of theirs on the outer edge of town where we thought they were making the drugs. It was at least where they were testing their drugs. They were testing on people. We found Blowhard, a local up-and-coming young hero that they had recruited, being tested on. He'd been being like gassed with power juicing gas for 9 days and was not in good shape.
They had
Little whiff of that, and it's good stuff, but also it's dangerous.
It's like super cocaine.
for your
Your
powers.
powers are like
The big whites on the spider mask
Yeah.
of Orb Weaver sort of narrow when you're like, they were being tested on experimental drugs. It was good stuff. Yeah, it was like super cocaine, but like totally bad. Negatory Ghost
Like-
Rider. All bad stuff.
well, I
Uh,
mean like it's clearly very addictive. The side effects are horrible, and the way that kid looked after 9 days, I don't think he was even a person.
I mean, that's not even mentioning the fact that they were dissecting supers like to frogs in
was child
biology
jumping.
class, and then they were
Uh,
making some weird thing that made a blob monster.
Have you seen the movie It?
Do you have the footage?
I mean, yeah, on my phone.
You plug it in.
Okay. Content warning: gross eldritch horrors. She says to Orb Weaver.
Orb Weaver's like, what do you mean, Eldritch? Oh my god! You know, I thought like what I was doing up topside was fucking vicious. This is crazy.
We stumbled into this because we're all a little involved somehow, I guess. Well, at least two of us. But the main reason I called you here is because I think we could use backup, and I figure you might know some other heroes and how to get in contact with them, and they would be maybe a little more respecting of you with just your word.
That's fair. Look, give me a time. I'll do my best to try and put the word out on this thing. A lot of the heroes in this city are heroes second, and then whatever occupation they had first.
I understand. I feel like we'll be dealing with a lot of the stuff at Sedesco HQ. I think as long as y'all are just keeping an eye out for anything that escapes and making sure it doesn't do anything to the city.
All right.
Does that seem approachable?
Yeah, we can be control. You guys go full aggro. Just break on in there. Based off of the footage that you guys are showing, Golden Boy over here seems like he's really good at breaking down walls.
He's like a human wrecking ball.
Nods. Though at the showing of the amalgamation being created, his little glowing eyeballs got real samurai tight.
I mean, I don't even know if that thing's alive. I don't even know how to attack it. It just absorbs everything.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one either. That's definitely a scientific method form of attack. You just see what works after an extended period of time and hope that it does the trick.
I think we should start with fire. Fire's usually a pretty good option for big fleshy masses.
That's pretty true.
Cody looks at all of us like, damn it.
I got earth, dude.
I know, that's what I mean. Cody's like, crap.
I think Crow pulls like a small flask out of his jacket and some matches. He's like, I've got a little gas and matches, but that's it.
Have you ever made a Molotov cocktail before?
Yeah, well, I mean, I have the materials for it on me.
Stop.
But have you made one before?
I understand it in theory. No.
Okay, well, I understand it in practice, so we should plan for this.
Oh
Okay.
my god!
What?
I think Aurora's just like saying these things like, hold on, wait a minute, but never says anything else.
You guys just keep like writing out the plan, and Roy's just wait. No, Molotovs.
Only we had a recoilless rifle with some incendiary rounds. And, you know.
What the hell's that?
It's the Molotov cocktails really is not that hard to make.
Yeah, it's like grain alcohol and a rag or something, right?
Yeah.
Not
So I'm
saying I
kind
would
of-
personally ever use one, but if anybody knows anybody with a surplus of grain alcohol, maybe.
Is there a eureka moment roll or something that Cody could try?
I would say you can just have a eureka moment.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Cody will say in Latin whatever the basically Greek fire was, because we know the Romans used it. And so he just says it as fuego or whatever it is in Latin and goes, Greek fire.
Fire.
the formula's been lost for centuries or whatever, but Cody remembers it and then just starts blah 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 saying it
Wait.
like in alchemical form.
Wait, okay.
Cody's like,
listen.
or Caleb is like just already notebook.
Ready
I
down,
don't
ready
pass
down.
chemistry.
Yeah. And
Okay,
then he's
now that you've given me the formula, what is Greek fire?
it was used to burn ships. It's sticky fire, kind of like napalm.
That
Cody,
could be
you're
really
a
useful.
genius.
Someone is. And he just
It's
kind of
you. The someone is you.
Gets blanked.
Aurora, you're okay.
How does everyone know how to make this shit?
I've been prepping to be a
Listen.
hero, and I don't have any offensive power. I gotta have options.
I was a petty criminal.
He's got a god on his side.
God damn it, Levi. Is napalm a war crime? What are you, a war cop?
It's not napalm, sir. It's Greek fire.
It's
And that's
different.
not a war crime.
That is not in the Geneva Conventions.
And also, we're using it to kill an eldritch monster.
He doesn't count as a citizen.
Yeah, so your brother, who has just introduced himself as Smoke throughout all of this, he says that like he can help acquire some of the materials, and that like you said, if this is gonna be an assault later tonight, you guys are gonna need, like, there's gonna need to be a man on the inside. Thankfully, he just got hired at Sedesco, so he can make sure that the doors are open at a specific hour for you all. Anyways, so the plan currently, you guys are getting together as much Greek/alchemical fire as you can to deal with the Eldritch Horror. You're going to break in, go to the subterranean levels, and just hope for the best that the alien ship is down there?
Yep, that sounds about as much as we planned last time, and it went pretty
I mean,
well. So,
yeah, what do we do? How do we get it
we get
out
the-
of there?
Hey, Thram, how do we get your spaceship out of there?
And Thran asks, or Thran, I think if anything would say, do any of you know how to pilot a vessel such as this? And Fabrizio just looks at him. He's like, what the hell? Like, you think any of us really know how to pilot that sort of thing? Just,
I got my permit.
Don't listen to her.
and like,
I know how to drive a regular vehicle.
Thran will just sort of like shoulders slump a little bit, head down, and says, basically, will like takes another what looks like it's like a Nokia phone that has I would say, if anything, it's even the Nokia phone that you gave him that was Caleb's previously, and after plugging some wires in, clack 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 onto the keyboard, after about like a minute or so, unplugs and says, put this onto the center console. It will come from me.
can do. Anyone mind if I keep this on myself?
I mean, it was your old phone. It makes sense.
I'm pretty nimble too, so.
Okay.
All right. I think that's where we break. Let's get to work.
All right.
Come
Hands
on.
to the center.
Hands in.
I'm not gonna do that in front of people.
Come on.
I'm not doing that in front of people.
Aurora's gonna grab Aftershock's hand.
Oh my god.
There are no people
Everyone,
here.
everyone get
Orb
in.
Weaver
Everyone.
puts a hand
I
in.
was gonna say there are no
Smoke
people
puts his
here,
hand
only
in.
heroes.
And Orb Weaver
Oh
just
my
says like,
God.
so what, is this like a go team venture moment
It's
or something?
exactly that.
Do you guys
Fun.
have a name that you call yourselves?
No. We haven't even
Well-
thought that far.
You know what? After you defeat some supervillains, maybe that's something that you can think of for the papers.
We can workshop it. 1, 2, 3.
Go team.
Go
team!
team!
And like Smoke is like, yes, go team. Like really excited about this. But so as you guys
Yeah.
yell, go team, cameras like will do like a pan shot, kind of doing like a little bit of like an around inside of the cavern that your secret base is in. And as it rights itself, it is now nighttime. You guys have all of your gear and everything about you. You are in front of this building. Smoke is not with you because they had been inside of the building previously to let open the security doors. Orb Weaver is not visible as they are up in the trees, but you know, based off of your plan, that she has indeed called ahead for some other heroes. On such short notice, she was able to get let's say, roll a d6. Whoever wants to.
Got a 2.
A 2? Okay, you managed to get 2 extra heroes on your roll. One is Drift Rider, who is they're a speedster hero, but in order to activate their speed, they need to have 3 points of contact on the ground at all times. And then the other hero is they look like an older guy. They have like these 2 metal tonfas that they have on either side, and they are wearing what look almost like religious paraphernalia, but like more like religious in the sense of like there's just like a T shape where their eyes would be. As well as like up and down to kind of create this more like visible thing, and it has this tinted black glass over it. But other than that, they are wearing like this kind of like lighter blue with like black accent clothing. Yes, Caleb.
Oh no, I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
I'm just intently listening, enjoying.
Okay, yeah. So as you guys are getting ready, like Drift Rider will approach, and he is you can see that like he wears gloves that have metal on the inside of the gloves. So when he is putting one hand down on the ground for when he activates his speed, he actually leaves sparks behind him.
Sick.
But Drift Rider has difficulty communing and speaking with the 4 of you, as they only speak Japanese. They do not actually speak any English at all. But the strangest thing that you can tell, getting this set up, Orb Weaver speaks Japanese, but hearing her say like moshi moshi, like it just sounds like very odd coming from her. But the 2 of them are able to communicate, and then the individual with the tonfas is just referred to as the bishop.
That's so fucking dope.
I'm so clever.
Yeah. So the mood is set. The hour is nigh. How are you all beginning your assault on the Sedesco building as a whole?
We did go over with them in the PowerPoint at least that this place was on the docket to be destroyed, right?
Oh yeah.
The park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the park.
So
the park is on the docket to be destroyed, as well as this whole building looks like it is also on the docket to be destroyed. Like this general area of town.
they're gonna blow up the ship. Maybe.
They're gonna
Anyway,
make themselves look like victims.
I do think it would be hilarious if we got to casually walk in the front doors because they're unlocked before we start ramming through walls. But like, we only hold ourselves back for the front doors. Like, there's the like double-doored airway kind of doors. We casually walk through and then immediately like battle poses and rushing.
Okay. Yeah, and so yeah, you guys, like, it's later in the evening, night has fallen, the moon is high in the sky, no longer the golden harvest moon that it was before, is slightly out of phase, so it still has a little bit of that, like, honeyish color to it, but not very much that it did the night prior. You get into the lobby. You know that the thing that you are looking for is below you, quite far, if your assumption is correct. So how are you planning on, how are these heroes planning on going down? Are you guys planning on just breaking out the
elevator?
floor? Elevator?
How much of the floor plan, or like how much of a route could I have planned with access to the floor plan?
I would say you can get up to, at least easily up to where the floor should end. Like to the bottom floor. It looks like it is like, that's where all the generators are. That's where a lot of the, like a lot of like storage, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I think basically Crow is like running in the lead, and basically every time we come up to like a closed door that has a security reader or something, he just points so Cody can just burst through.
Okay. Yeah, and as you break through a door, security begins to fire off. But you know that your brother is at least like in part taking care of security and is trying to localize it so that way the authorities don't come to try and stop you, at least for as long as he possibly can. So you break through the first door, break through the second door, and you make your way all the way to the bottom where all of these generators are. What else? What is the plan past that point?
I could probably, with Cody's help, blow a hole in this wall. And I mean, see floor, not a wall.
Okay.
We can also look around this floor a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, so making a quick investigation around the floor. Most of it, again, just generators. Not a whole lot of, like, there are some people here, but when you show up, they're all just like, oh my god, like, I have no money.
Just fine, just leave. Just go up.
Oh, okay.
Just leave.
Yes, you
you're
bet.
fine.
And they all just get out and leave. They are not interested in trying to start anything. Cody, as you are investigating, one of the things that I feel like Cody would do is that there is an elevator door here. Just easily, like, wrench open the elevator. And as you're looking inside, you can see that normally the elevator would like stop and have a little bit extra give at the bottom as to where it would land just in case it ended up falling, that sort of thing. But you can see that there is a secondary shaft that continues downward, but that secondary shaft that continues down isn't like, this is the top of where that shaft begins. It looks like there is like a second means of going down further, but it looks like it is just a straight drop.
It would appear there's another way. And Cody points to the shaft. Oh, and the whole time that we've been going and running into those people, Lucian or Aftershock's been saying, get out of here, just get out of here. And Cody adds things like, seek different employment, your bosses are evil.
Your calling is elsewhere.
You are not getting paid enough for this.
Enough for this. Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, they are all just like, yep, you betcha. I will reconsider and reevaluate everything because a giant golden glowy man Kool-Aid manned himself through a door and yelled it at me. Like, this is what needs to happen for me.
This is my sign.
Oh, yeah. If you're one of those, like, maybe I should quit this job. I'm just waiting for a sign. That's as good as one of any. So, you know that there is, again, like a method of getting down further beneath this building. Are you continuing down the elevator shaft, or are you just like following Cody, just like jumping straight down? Are you hopping along the wires? Like, what is the goal here?
Luciana, can you like earth elevator us down?
Maybe. I've never tried it before, but sure.
All right.
Is there a way I can like bring out some earth and just lower us?
Yeah. Roll to unleash your power.
Ew. Let me use my dice bag. That's not great. Probably not. Unleash my powers. Is freak?
Yes.
That is a 6.
Okay, so a 6 is not a success.
Yeah.
So as you go to bring out this like earthen elevator, and it appears for a brief moment, you all are able to get on, and Luciana, as you start having it level and go down, you go down for a little bit, and then it just starts going faster than you would like. And as you try and get it to stop, there is that like pain in your head again, as almost like that migraine kind of comes back just for a brief moment. And the earthen platform that you are on just begins to crumble. And the 4 of you are falling. And you fall for maybe about 20 feet or so. Yes, Aurora.
I think Aurora is going to like have her wand out, and she'll be like, "Oh God, Fabrizio, I hope this works," and we'll like point the wand up and like shoot out a grappling hook from like the end to kind of like hook on to like where the beginning of the shaft was.
Oh, yeah. All right, so that'll work for at least you.
Can Crow like square jump down the walls to the floor?
Yeah, you have a super athletic build, so yes.
I'm gonna make Aftershock just fall.
No, I want to grab. I want to grab.
I mean, if you can, do you have to roll for it?
Let's say for this, roll plus savior.
Okie dokie. What's my savior at? All right, we'll see if it works. 7.
Okay, so a 7. So yeah, you are able to grab a hold of Aftershock. Is this like the waist grab, or is this like
The arm grab.
like the arm grab? Like it is either, regardless of how you end up posing it, you are able to successfully like get a hold of Aftershock and then grappling hook to the side. Your arm hurts, like both from like being caught in the middle of this. Like it is not an easy feat to grappling hook yourself like Batman when you are in the process of falling, contrary to what comic books would have us believe. But you are able to do this, and it's like it'll be sore tomorrow, but like honestly, having done all of this superhero level stuff with your friends anyway, it usually has been leaving you a little worse for wear. And Cody, like you're falling.
Just grab the I grabbed the cable and just kind of, sparks and smoke.
I was thinking sparks too.
Just,
yeah.
And
Lighting up this dark elevator shaft until eventually all 4 of you are able to land atop it. And then you can see that there is there's still like a ventilation system that's here. So if you would like, you can attempt to like crawl through it. Otherwise, just like punch through the top of this elevator thing, hop in, punch open the door.
The hatches, is there a hatch on the top? Because they're made to be open from outside.
Yes.
So we can just open up the hatch of the elevator and slip in. That might be a little difficult for Golden Gauntlet. You might have to widen the opening a little
other
bit.
Superheroes are still hanging from each other.
I imagine Golden Gauntlet's able to like grab the two of you and like move you down. Like that's no problem. He gets tall when he's in his fucking goldeny form.
Okay. Luciana's just gonna apologize. I don't know what happened. It's like
No worries.
it's migraine again. I think that gas is still in my system.
Be in mind of that for myself as well. Thanks.
Yeah.
Sorry, it had to happen to you though.
Whatever.
Well, just be careful. Both of you.
Careful's my middle name.
Thought your middle name was Hubert.
He just like slips into the elevator.
Just muttering like that's not what the H stands for.
Little Batman type move, but pouty.
All right. You're all able to get into the elevator. Cody, again, as Golden Gauntlet, just like either able to like break open the elevator doors or you just like hit the button that causes the doors to open. Like there's no extra need for it at that point.
See the big gold gauntlet head for the panel.
Luciana
and then
just opens the door.
Yeah, exactly. The perfect. He goes, "Rrr," and she's like, bing.
All right, so the doors
nods.
open, and as the four of you exit into this hallway, it looks old. And I say old with a more curious tone in the fact that it is designed to look ancient. You know that it is not, but there is worked stone here that has what looks like metal inlays on it that all have this kind of like pulsing energy through it. And as you are continuing, and it's like as you're looking around, you can see that like you're at the end of a hallway. And as you are looking down, you can all hear something. And it is a chanting, to say the least. And it is a chanting that you have all heard before.
Hey guys, I think we found Cult HQ.
Yeah, they really went with the theatrics. I mean, good paint job, but this is not as
It's
all as
pretty
it's meant
sick,
to look.
honestly.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, we know how to deal with these cultists.
I mean, if they're all group, I can kind of just dome them. Yes, Sadie, I know. There's a lot to say.
I guess make our way that direction.
Yeah. Carefully, stealthily.
Okay.
We're so good at stealth.
Golden Gauntlet. Ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk.
I know.
Literally a beacon.
Yeah. And as you are getting closer to the end of this hallway, you begin to hear strength of the hammer, fires of the forge. Our lives are but ingots laid down for our Lord. By his brilliance, we embrace the blessings of the one true flame. And there is a cheering. And as you get to this point that you can actually kind of see into this room again, and I feel like Cody, like when you need to stealth, it's like, all right, turn into my regular boy self, because like honestly, like it's like a second to transform between the two. It's not that difficult of a thing. But as your group is looking into this room, you see what looks like I want to say it's a jagged looking saucer. It isn't necessarily a smooth machine, but it is gargantuan. This thing is easily at least like 100 feet by 100 feet in diameter. It is made of this coarse black material, and you can see that it is sort of like tilted off to one side with these not, it's not parapet, that's not the right word, but with these like jacks, almost like they were lifting up a car, that have set this saucer-like machine up on an angle. From what Thran has told you, that looks like his fucking ship. But you can see that there are these individuals wearing these reddish robes that have taken pieces of it. Like, there are bits and pieces of this thing that are no longer there. There is a walkway that has been dropped down out of it to allow entrance into this machine. But you can see that there are like cables and cords that are running out of it. And where those cables and cords go to, it looks like a massive anvil. And this anvil itself is also partially constructed from this same coarse black material, almost like it has been piecemealed together with a lot of this sort of glowing energy coursing through it. And as the group of these cultists cheer, you see a hooded figure approach, standing before this makeshift altar that lowers their hood, and you see Sedesco, Donovan, standing before it. And upon the walls, there is so much wrong with this place, especially for you, Cody, in that you see that there is just a shit ton of Vulcan iconography here, like specifically for the Cult of Vulcan. And also, next to it, you can see what looks like it's almost like a etching of a traditional Christian scene where you see a naked man, naked woman standing before a large tree, and they are pulling fruits from said tree. And Donovan, as he is there, just sort of like makes a quick motion with his hands, and the crowd stills. And he says, "My brothers and sisters, as you all know, we are under assault by the forces that would stop us from trying to bring about the future. For the last several years, we have had to lie and wait in an aside, watching as so many others have gained fantastical powers, the powers of the gods themselves. But it is through technology, and it is through our understanding of the gifts from the heavens and emotions towards this alien ship that we have been able to recreate our own miracles." And at that, you see he takes out from his robe what appears to be not just a fruit, but a pomegranate. And he sets it onto a table and says, "As you are all aware, the first fruit that was eaten by man was not an apple, but was instead one of these lovely pomegranates here. And this is all of us. We are the pomegranate. We have been brought together by the blessings of Vulcan, and together we shall bring about a change. My brothers and sisters, today we are going to redefine what it means to be human. And as he says this, there is upon this table a large machine, and he presses a button, and this machine, like connected to the ship, begins to glow. And you see a beam of energy strike against this pomegranate. And as it does, you watch as this organic thing changes to gold. My brothers and sisters, I have brought, he says, I have brought allies with us to help in the next generation, a new generation. And as he says this, you see Lorraine approach to one of his sides. You see the creature that was the amalgam golem come to his side, and the Pale Rider is next to him as well. And he says, today, we launch Project Eden. And you will be here at the ground level as we bring about a second sun. Now, who's with me, brothers and sisters? And as he says that, the cheers of the cultists rain louder. And he goes over to a large panel connected to this massive anvil. And you see he grabs a lever and throws it down. And the room begins to hum.
Caleb looks over at whoever's across the door from him and just like nods and is like, we gotta go.
I will put my phone away now.
And he runs around the corner and says, not if we have anything to do about it, as he sprints towards the disco.
Aurora, were you live streaming that or just recording it?
Live streaming is so much sexier. Thank you.
All right. Okay. I just, in my head, I had a,
Shit. Okay, does this place look like the type of place that it's the bottom? Like there might be just dirt underneath and earth underneath?
You are very far underground. You could guess that, yeah.
Okay, I'm a little bit in my element now. Well, if Crow's just running out,
after yelling, not if I have anything to say about it, and then just
Luciana's just like, you fucking
There
idiot.
was a live stream. I was trying to be cool for the camera.
You fucking idiot. And Luciana's just gonna start throwing up like defense walls between them and the other people. So it's basically dissecting the room between them, the cultists and the four horsemen, and then them and the spaceship.
We need to accumulate our team points because this seems like a battle situation.
this does seem like a battle.
Ahem. The rules of team points are as follows. When you enter battle against a dangerous foe as a team, add 2 to the team pool. Who is the leader for this mission?
I guess Caleb, since he ran out.
Yeah, Crow took the charge.
All right.
Yep.
If Crow has influence over every teammate, add another team.
Guess who has?
You do have one over Luciana.
Yeah, you gave me back my influence,
Yeah,
right,
I
Aurora?
I didn't.
Or you didn't take influence from me. Never mind.
I didn't take influence.
I don't have influence over you, so not everyone.
Okay. 2. If everyone has the same purpose in the fight, add another team. What is our purpose?
Stop the cult and Sedesco and the Four Horsemen.
That
Take the ship back.
That sounds, yes. It sounds like we agree. If any team member mistrusts the leader or the team, remove a team.
Caleb's been pretty
Trust
trustworthy this whole time.
That's
Just throwing
sick.
that out there.
If your team is ill-prepared or off-balance, remove a team.
we're in this.
We're here. I think we're as prepared as we can be.
Yeah, like we made up a plan. We've got backup. Yeah, this is a little hectic, but you know.
I feel like
It's more planned than normal.
yeah.
Yeah,
More
We're
planned than
teens,
yesterday. Certainly
yeah,
more
so-
planned than the day before.
I think
Yeah.
we're more unbalanced than we've ever been.
Can I just say that while we were live streaming, Luciana was just texting, "Hey, or Weaver, wishing no. We need backup. Here's the way down. Just follow the broken walls and go down the elevator shaft." People are cray cray. Link to live to live live filming it.
Okay, so it seems like we have 3 team.
Yay!
Are we taking away one from? Are we ill prepared?
No, if you are ill-prepared, you remove a team. So we
Yeah. So then we were at 4, right?
we have 2. You didn't have
2,
influence. We have the same purpose.
Nobody mistrusts me.
Only
Oh, that's
2
removes
things.
a team. Never mind. That doesn't
Only
add
2
one.
things at team. Yeah, it's 3.
I missed that one.
Anyways, my role here is complete. We have 3 team.
3 team.
Okay.
Okay. So you got 3 team. Caleb, you are rushing in. There are, I want to say roughly like 150 cultists. There are a large number of them here. And of course, there are the 4 individuals that are standing at the end of the room next to this large, industrious-looking anvil that has been retrofitted with alien tech. A lever has just been thrown. There is also the spaceship that they are getting a bunch of their power from. What would you like to do?
I'm fast as fuck, boy. Crow is literally sprinting towards Sedesco and the lever. He wants to like basically body slam into Sedesco and him out of the way and flip the lever back up.
Okay. So yeah, let us, as you're rushing across and you want to body slam him, roll to directly engage a threat. And I'm guessing that you're just like hopping on the heads of all of these cultists. Like you're not weaving in between, like you hop atop them and are just like sprinting on top of each of them.
A 9.
So a 9, you get to pick one. Resist or avoid their blows. Take something from them. Create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
I feel like my intent is to surprise the opposition. Put them
You could take
off
the
kilter.
lever from them.
The lever is like part of the overall machine, so I don't think you can just like
Oh.
pop that one out and call it a day. But you did appear out of nowhere and say, "Not if I can help it," and then you ran forward when they were not expecting anyone to be in their secret base. So yeah, I would say that that definitely checks as far as a surprise. So Sedesco is certainly surprised at your presence, and with an oof, you body slam into him.
Can
Go
sorry, go ahead.
Aurora would like to like turn the wand around where the projectile side is and just yell out glitter bomb and fucking in the biggest group of cultists she can find just fucking
Oh yeah. Yeah, so for this, that would be, I would say that would count as provoking someone.
Okay. All right. And that is with superior. Okay. Hi-ya. Okay, that is an 8, a hot nasty 8.
A hot nasty 8? Okay. So, for provoking, you can choose one. And we'll just say that this is a wide sweep ruling against the crowd of cultists that are there. You won't, obviously, like, you won't get all of them, but for the sake of mechanics and time, we will say that this will count towards the entire group. The group stumbles, you take +1 forward going against them. They err, you gain a critical opportunity, or they overreact and you gain influence over them.
I'm gonna say they stumble, so maybe everyone can get like +1.
Okay.
against them.
Yeah, and this is like the glitter bomb goes off and like cultists are like, oh my god, my eyes! Like it is everywhere. People are like coughing and inhaling glitter. Like that shit's not coming out. It's gonna be.
It's both the really fine dusted one and the chunky one that'll cut ya.
Oh yeah. Oh, like
It's a mixture of
it
glitter.
is, and like it's like, I want to say it's like stripper glitter. Like they got it on them and there's no, like, regardless of how often they wash their clothes or wash their bods, there will always be like a little bit of glitter like behind the ear or something. Like it's just part of them now. Until the day that they die, they will have this glitter about them. So they have been glittered. Caleb, you have, or Crow, you have run atop them. Cody.
So Cody was in, normal boy mode and like kind of behind because he didn't want to get in the camera. But now that everybody's moving out, he goes to step out in like normal boy form, and then it's like, oh, and then clenches his fist and the shield and turns it, goes all golden gauntlet as he strides across the catwalk or whatever. I guess Caleb's going to knock out Sodexo. What are the other 3 targets again?
The other 3 targets, so there are a total of 5 targets for you. So there's the crowd, there is Sodexo, Pale Rider, Lorraine, aka Miss Blight, or the Amalgam.
Oh, yeah, he's got to go Amalgam. So he'll directly attack the Amalgam. Actually, can I? So what he'll do is he'll run like he's gonna go full, he smash into the Amalgam, but instead jump over it. And if it like looks up at him, like, what are you doing? And he'll let him have it with the Greek fire.
Oh, okay.
Like he's gonna leap over him basically, and then instead of indirectly engaging, smash the Greek fire in its face.
Okay. Yeah. Roll to directly engage with a threat.
Right. So 7 plus, I believe that is danger.
Yes.
Which is 3, so 10.
Okay, so on a 10 plus, you get to pick 2. Resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
So I will. Does the Amalgam have a shield or a weapon?
They have like, it looks almost like a golem-like body.
Okay.
Like their personage is a weapon.
Okay. All right, cool. So we'll dodge that. I'll dodge its blows. Like I said, I kind of did this like flip over them. So I'll dodge their blows, and I will give the opening for one of my teammates to ignite said fire.
Okay. Yeah.
Cody does not have it.
Yeah, so Cody, as you are getting near this thing, like it like squares its shoulders against you, and you can just hear this like deep-seated primal recognition that you are the thing that it should be facing. And there is like a growl that seems to come from deep within its chest that escapes, that no human should ever be able to make. And as their arm comes forward, as you've seen a multitude of times now, like their claw launches forward attached to a chain, and you leap over it, you see like the chain begins to grow and morph into a series of blades that juts up and is constantly trying to flay at you as you leap over them, narrowly dodging out of the way with this shield, like kind of giving yourself a little bit of extra momentum. You throw down the start of the Greek fire, and you hear this like as like this creature now has like sticky substance on their face. Aftershock.
I'm all good with that.
Can I, as all this is happening, go to where Cody is going? And I know a lot of these cultists have fire powers.
That is
So kind of
correct.
draw their fire to where Cody hit the thing with the Greek fire. So run as a bait. And then once they start firing, is there a possible way that I could almost like liquefy the ground to have them sink a little and reharden? Like it just sucks them in?
So with that, because those are two different things, do you want to unleash your powers, or would you like to provoke? Because provoking would be using yourself as bait. Unleashing your powers is to liquefy the ground and get them all trapped in like wet cement and then reharden the cement.
Ooh, I will provoke.
Okay.
I will provoke.
So
Let
roll
me see
plus
what it is.
superior.
Plus superior. Okay. Oh, not bad. Okay, that's 9.
Okay. So
If she's attacking a cultist, do they get +1?
yeah, you would get a +1 because they are stumbling.
Thanks. So yeah, that would be a 10 then.
Okay, so they stumble, they err, or they overreact. They rise to the bait and do what you want. So, with that, I believe, pretty sure you're looking at they err, and you gain a critical opportunity.
It says for PCs on a 10 plus, they do it and we add a team to the pool. And if they don't,
That is if you
That's-
are
and they-
provoking a player character.
okay, get it. Yeah. So I suppose.
Yeah, on 10 plus, they just straight up do what you want.
Okay, yeah, just draw their fire to where Cody had poured the Greek fire, so it can just ignite it,
Okay.
and then prepare for the next move
Yeah.
when that happens.
So, like these cultists, like they like many are like rubbing their eyes trying to get the glitter out, and like they can't process it. And like are trying to like get a good look, but like it is just not working in their favor. They have heard their head cultist, aka Sedesco, get injured, and so you see one of them just like they have like a 2 rings on either finger, one flint, one steel, that they clack together to create this spark and then motion forward with their hands. And as they do, like with this burning flame towards you, Luciana, very quickly you are able to sort of just move out of the way as this fire wreaths up over the amalgam. And you hear it begin to shriek as this Greek fire that has been drenched on it ignites, does the thing that you wanted it to do. And so this creature is on fire. There is still this group. And now it is the villains' turns. Caleb, you have just shoved Sedesco out of the way. And like as you like batter into him and he like gets shoved against the wall, he says, there's no use standing in the way of progress. And as he does, he throws aside his robes, and beneath it, like you see that he's wearing like business casual clothes, but then you watch as they get tighter against his skin and begin to change texture to a more metallic looking color. And then you see that like the edge of his collar changes into what looks almost like a fine powder as it begins to creep up his neck and encase his face. And he is wearing like this silvered armor. And he will reach out with his hand forward, and he is going to he like grabs a hold of your shoulder, and as he does, you can feel the sting of 1,000 tiny bites as you look as these like what look to be like, you know, when you're outside and you see those like small red spiders that only like have like 4 legs, it's like thousands of those leaving his hand, coming onto your cloak, and they look like they are attempting to eat away at it. So roll to take a powerful blow.
So that's gonna be +2 for 2 conditions marked.
Yes.
So 6.
So 6. Good. You wanted to roll low.
Yep.
So yeah, as these like small mites are beginning to eat away at your clothing, you just sort of like flick up with your cape that I believe we've said has like layers of bird feathers on it. Mm-hmm. And as you flick it away, like some of these feathers come off, and you see these small creatures, or not small creatures, but small things that are attached to it go floating, that sort of like hang in the air for a little bit and then seem to retract onto this metallic form that Sedesco has taken on. As this happens, you hear like this metallic voice coming through him now, say towards Lorraine, deal with them. And Lorraine smiles this wicked smile and says, "It'd be my pleasure." And she steps down away from you, Caleb, and away from you, Aftershock, and Golden Gauntlet. And she looks up and sees you, Aurora. And she takes that wide brim hat and she tips it down. And as she does, the ground next to you begins to rumble as massive worms begin to break up through the ground. And these... You have never seen a worm with a mouth before, and you never want to again, as it has this vicious maw that is filled with what looks like shards of glass where teeth should be, as it tries to reach out towards you, almost like the mouth of like a leech or something like that. So roll to take a powerful blow as these two come towards you.
All right. Yeehaw. Got one condition. Well, that's a 10.
Oof, owie, your bones. So, on a 10, you must remove yourself from the situation. You lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way, or you take 2 options from the 7 to 9 list.
I mean, I'm just curious to see what would happen if I lost control of myself or my powers in a terrible way. Part of me is just really curious.
Okay. So lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way. So you have your wand, and there are these creatures that are coming at you, and you feel one like dig into your side, and like there is purchase there. This sucks. This hurts very badly. You are in high school and you are like up to your neck in deep shit right now. And you have your wand. It is still new. You're trying to figure out everything that it does. And as this bite comes into you, you just start like fuck, like try to press the buttons that are going to get you the taser option. And eventually you do hit the taser option. But before that, as you are like pressing these buttons and like cranking it, like it's basically like a bop it of utility that you're trying to figure out. The top end and the bottom end begin to flash red. And you see on a display a small timer.
Oh my god. How much time is on the timer?
There is currently showing a 09. There's less than 10 seconds remaining.
Oh boy.
So, Cody, you as Golden Gauntlet are standing next to this creature that is now on fire. As you're facing it towards its back, there is another individual towards your back. As you feel the force of what would otherwise be like a shotgun blast directly to your back plate, as Pale Rider unleashes a serious force against you. Roll to take a powerful blow.
8.
Okay, so an 8. You lash out verbally and provoke a teammate to foolhardy action or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition. You give ground. Your opposition gets an opportunity, or you struggle past the pain and you mark 2 conditions.
Ooh, okay, so that was wrong page. Keep fighting with the PDF here. Okay. And I choose one?
Yes, choose one.
Okay.
Or the last one was you struggle past the pain and you mark 2 conditions.
Weird. Yeah, marking conditions currently is probably a bad idea. I think I will give ground.
Okay. So you give ground. Your opposition gets an opportunity. So this shotgun blast, you were not expecting. Like, you were braced for something from the front to come hit you. And this just sends you, like, toppling forward. Like, you are going to be on your chest, like, needing to stand back up at this moment. And when you look back, you just see Pale Rider there. Like, sandy blonde hair, shortened now, obviously. No longer the dreads that it was before. But his eyes are glowing with that same white energy, almost as bleached white as his hoodie that he's still wearing in the situation after he has blasted you forward. So that is Sedesco, Pale Rider, Blight, the crowd. They are just going to be taking like defensive stances half the time. They're just like trying to move around and do shit. Like they are here and they are trying to put a stop to you guys, but at the same time, you blinded them and got glitter in their everything. And they are like doing their best to sort of like square up towards the front, but they don't know how to use their like widespread fire abilities without targeting their boss. So, you know, kind of a good spot to be in. However, the flaming bronze amalgam now, you see like their top half swivels and their legs go from being bent forward to bending back as their feet also swivel around, almost like they're more machine than man. Like this is definitely like Transformers in the 80s level of articulation as far as the bendies go. And while they are on flame, they just shriek out, and they are going to try and scoop you up, Cody, like by your waist, and then just throw you. But they are going to be throwing you into the middle of the cultists. So they are going to, roll to, this will be a provoke. So they are provoking you.
And provoke is plus what?
So for provoking, it is plus superior.
All right.
But I would say that this is similar to take a powerful blow, so you would just add your conditions because I'm having you roll for him. Because this is masks and I don't roll things.
All right. So, I still have guilty, which is -2 to provoke someone or assess the situation. So do I
No,
still?
because you are not the one
Okay,
who's
so I
provoking. You are
don't minus
being
it.
provoked.
It is a 9.
Okay, so with a 9, they are being thrown. You're being thrown. If you would like to like wiggle your way out of this, you mark a condition. If you go with being thrown into this like grouping of cultists, you will add a team to the pool.
Let's go ahead and add a team.
Okay, so yeah, Cody, you are just thrown. So now, Crow, you and Aftershock are the only 2 people up against Sedesco, Pale Rider, and the flaming creature. Cody has been thrown into the masses, and Aurora, you have these 2 large worms with Blight making her way towards you, and your wand is counting down from 9. So that is back to our players. Crow.
Crow smirks and yells over his shoulder towards Aftershock. I'm gonna start it, as he ducks around Sedesco and starts sprinting towards the lowered ramp of the ship.
Hell yeah, my guy. All right. So, yeah, you just start racing towards it. Again, there's nothing in this rule set that makes my villain stop you until you're doing it. So, yeah, you are on your way. So, yeah. Aftershock, now you are on this pedestal with 3 major villains. What would you like to do? You're muted.
I'm going to try to provoke Pale Rider.
Okay.
I'm going to tell him, you're so pathetic. You're here being used by people who care nothing about your power, who think so little of you, and you think you're on top?
Shit, yo. Roll to provoke.
I do have conditions, so give me a second before I forget.
Can I add a team with the way I'm supporting you being I recovered the footage that let you even know about the conversation?
Yeah.
I'll allow it. That
okay.
sounds dope. And it's the last session.
It's plus superior, and I got rid of guilty, which gives me -2, so I don't have that. So I have 9, 10, 11.
Fuck. All right,
Yeah.
so...
I want to provoke him to attack the others. to like basically say, you're just a puppet to them and you're gonna let them walk all over you. You really changed, and not for
So
the better.
so he is not necessarily going to attack one or the other, but you have seen when previously when the two of you were doing hood rat shit together, he would get to a boiling point and he would explode, for lack of a better term, where it was an AoE burst around him. You know that this is coming, so you'll have enough time to just like encase myself in earth, like fuck that,
Yeah.
not a part. However, Sedesco does not know that this is coming, and the flaming bronze amalgam does not exactly seem like they have the wherewithal to have the forethought about this. So as you're saying this, Pale Rider turns towards you, and almost like a child on the playground, they try and combat you in a verbal sense after you have just laid out a true fact, where they just start saying like I don't need them to care about my powers. What I need is to be in control. And as he says that, he just bursts outward. And
just
Sedesco just like, whoop, like he gets like knocked back, like tumbles into a wall. The flaming creature also, like, you see, like, it's a lot grosser on them because like bits and pieces of them just sort of like fall back from where they are, and like you hear a splattering sound from behind as those chunks land, and then like missing pieces from the creature steadily begin to like, it looks like they would be in the process of regrowing if it wasn't for this alchemical fire that you had doused them in that is preventing them from healing. So that's a plus. This is very good, but you can see that they just like let out this big boost of energy, and Sedesco yells at the Pale Rider and says, "You idiot, not next to the machine." And that obviously lands super well for the Pale Rider. But
yeah, I feel like just to rub salt in it, like after putting up the wall of earth to like combat the blow, and when she hears Sedesco say "you idiot," she just gives him a knowing look. Like,
it's like a head
everything-
tilt because you got your helmet on, but
yeah, like just a head tilt, and it's like, what did I tell you?
it's making him mad. So Golden Gauntlet and Aurora, who wants to go next?
May I? All right. So Gauntlet hits the ground. You know, he like skids and sparks a bit on the floor, and the cultists kind of
Swarm him. Yeah.
Yeah, they go to swarm, and as that's happening, you know, we see him look up, and he sees that Aurora's been like, you know, chomped with these worms with glass teeth, and he sees that, and then he just he teleports out, because I'll spend one of my holds to do my protector thing, and he appears there next to her, and he's gonna like attack the things, the worms, like, you know, to detach it so it doesn't, you know, keep chewing her, sort of thing. And as he's doing it, he'll say something along the lines of, "Who's the greater hero? Someone who, you know, is impervious and super strong, or those who run into this danger just with their wits and skills?" You know, just that sort of thing where he's like, you know, again, coming with the "you're the real hero, I've got a goddess on my side," you know, type thing. And like I said, as he's shield smashing the worms to like set her free from that
Okay.
fix.
Sounds good. So is that So that's one of your abilities. That's not like a roll to defend or anything like that.
Right. Let me see what it says. It is the when it matters, when you defend someone on a hit, you can hold, and I've been holding this stupid thing forever. Spend your hold when they are in danger later to arrive on the scene ready to help. So basically, I just get there, whether I, you want to call it a confront or defend or.
Hell yeah. Let's do defend.
All right. And because I'm the bull, I use danger instead. Well, it's one of my gigs. I chose that. Okay, so 6, 2, 8 plus 3 is 11.
Hell yeah. So on a hit, you keep them safe. On a 7 to 9, it costs you expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation, but you can add a team to the pool, take influence over someone you protect, or clear a condition.
I will clear my guilty condition, and I will add a team to the pool.
Hell yeah. So now you're at 4 team.
Yep, spend them while we got them, peeps.
All right, and Aurora.
Indoor.
Yeah.
I'd like to activate my moment of truth.
Do it. Do it. What is this? I don't know what your moment of truth is.
Ahem. I will read for the class. Sometimes it can be hard to tell where the show stops and where you begin. But not today. Not now. Because right now, there is no show. Right now, you are the thing you pretend to be. Bold and bright and beautiful and amazing and powerful and confident. Right now, you draw strength from your audience, comfort from their belief in you, and you can do anything they think you can. Of course, after such an impassioned performance, your audience will just have even more demands.
So you've been live streaming this entire event. So I feel like as you have gotten injured and you like fumble with the wand and the countdown begins, the only comparison that I can think of is the Digimon movie when they start getting all of the emails being like, you can do it, you've got this, oh, we support you. Like Twitch equivalent, you're getting so many bits right now. This is fucking awesome. Like people are dropping gift subs. It's hype train level 5.
Going? Yeah.
Like it's like nearing like level 6, and that's not even a thing. Like Twitch is like fucking up right now, trying to keep the amount of hype that is building around this stream. You're on the front page and it's like, they're like, should we pull it? I don't know. It's kind of violent, but like maybe it's staged. Shrug.
So, this is going to happen like right after what Cody says to Aurora, like, you're going in with your wits and your skills, blah, blah. And she's going to look at Cody very earnestly, take his hand and be like, take Luciana, get on the ship, and go. And is going to like shove him off to go do that. I think she's going to like look back at like Miss Blight, Windermere. While this timer is ticking down, and the camera is like pointed at her. She's going to say, you and your gang of cronies, you're all just liars. You put on this mask. You pretend like you help people. You put on this big fucking show. I mean, I know about it too. It's all I ever used to do was pretend to help people. But I'm tired of pretending. And I won't let the likes of you get away with this. And she's holding out her wand. And as this is going, down. It's counting the 3, 2, and she's just gonna like look back at the ship. As it is taking off. It's taking off. I'm taking narrative control of the scene. It's taking
Yeah.
off. And we'll just kind of like smile as it goes to 0.
Okay. Now, Crow, you are inside of the ship. There are many things that have been stripped away from it, but thankfully you recognize the center console that Thran had mentioned. As you are getting everything situated and you put the cell phone down onto the center console, you see like there are like mechanical tendrils that come off of the side and sink into the dashboard as like just strange numbers, strange symbology begins to appear on the phone. And then it just begins to vibrate with that heavy vibrating that you recognize. And as you flip it up, you just hit the OK button. Or like you have your thumb pressed on the OK button, waiting for your friends. As you are getting ready to press that button, narrative control has been given to the players. So, Golden Gauntlet, you have grabbed hold of Aftershock and are just like sprinting past all of these villains as you make your way into the ship as well. And as you get onto the ship, I'm assuming that you are like, because again, KyleWithAnN, you had taken narrative control, so the ship is leaving said place.
Yes,
So-
they're getting out.
So Crow, you ask like, basically like, or like, where's Aurora? Isn't Aurora coming? And I feel like Golden Gauntlet just sort of looks at you and just like, without saying anything, just sort of like has to like shake their head no.
We're not leaving her.
You hit the OK button as the bridge closes, and as the ship begins to rise and take off, Luciana, you look back and you just see Aurora looking up at you. And then the bottom closes. It is dark except for the coloration of lights on the inside of this structure. And there is a strong lurching feeling as the ship takes off, followed by
Hey,
crunching and breaking.
Q.
Yeah.
Can I also activate my moment of truth?
As you are in mid-flight leaving, yes.
I was just
Uh,
gonna say.
As Crow presses the button, he like immediately starts sprinting towards the door. And I think that they've actually like done so much modification, the door mechanism doesn't work anymore. So it's still down. And you see like some 15 birds that you could not like tell were on his cloak erupt from his back. And as they do, the like pure like chaos of it like rips off his mask and it like falls down into the chaos, and they swoop down, and it like you see as the timer clicks to 1, 0, you cut to the explosion, except 15 crows are like trying desperately to fly Aurora out, and Caleb is just hanging out of the bay with his hand out, ready to grab you, but face fully exposed to the stream.
Yeehaw!
Okay, so you are like wrapping Aurora in, and it is the ship is deep underground and needs to find a way out. So you hear it crush up against the side of the building, but thankfully, the way that physics works is that if your thing has a stronger density than the thing that you are pushing up against, there is no worry about damage to the original structure. So this ship is just like going upwards, but you have to get inside the ship because that ramp, as being lowered as you're like chunking up through the earth, is just destroyed. It is gone. But we cut to street level. And Orb Weaver and the Bishop and Drift Rider have like rounded up, like they were told, like, hey, if you see anybody coming from this building, you should like arrest them if possible, or like hold them down. And Smoke is there as well. And they have like a cluster of people that were working on like the lower levels, and they're like, I swear I don't know what's going on. And Orb Weaver's like, yeah, tell it to the judge. And they're like, no, seriously, I've reconsidered everything I want to do. This is not about. And there is just like a rumbling, and like Drift Rider just nani, and then boom, like through the ground, and you see like Drift Rider, like as they said, Nani had like gotten down on like all three, and then just like as it exploded out, just pew, like gone for the moment, just getting the fuck out of Dodge as this massive ship breaks through street level, goes into the sky, and then like is like tilting, like floating, like it is like the center is not there. It is not looking great. There is no like central stability. It's not great again, but it flies like over the city into the forest, and then just like lands nose first into this open grove that you know your secret base is in, and it is just there. In the distance, you start hearing a like as you look over, and the Sedesco Tech building is beginning to just collapse downward and in on itself as you guys removed the lower structure of this building. It collapses and falls down upon itself, and the ship again is like stuck in there. As the four of you are getting out of the wreckage of this alien craft, you start hearing the sound of like news choppers. You start hearing like cars slamming, like people are coming to find out, like to get the scoop on this. And quicker than any of these choppers, faster than any of these cars, and louder than the crash itself, you hear the Bork of Good Boy making their way to come to whatever the fuck. He just saw a big ass frisbee floating through the air. That looks tight. So Good Boy has arrived on the scene, and as you all are just like, oh my god, what the fuck? Like, there is no way that you are going to be able to hide what has just happened here. And so we are going to go into and as you are all like standing around this wreckage, the screen goes black, and you hear a child ask, but what happens next? And you are once again in the Hall of Heroes. And as the child asks what happens next, as you stand next to the statue of Golden Gauntlet, you see that there are workers who are affixing the nameplate, the correct nameplate, beneath the statue to let you know this is who this man was. And the museum worker, the tour guide, kind of squats down so that way they are on eye level with the child. And he says, what happens next? is history. And he puts his hand on the child's shoulder and says, we're about to close, though. So why don't you just come back next time? And I'll tell you all about their next adventure. And the kid looks up, eyes wide, and says, you mean it? And the tour guide nods and says it's a promise. And that is where we are going to call it for Masks the Green Sun. So with that, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop by and join us for this wonderful, wonderful campaign. I know that we had initially said that it was going to be 8 to 10 sessions. We went to 11. I don't know how to count. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I loved having this group here. So, before we get into sign-offs, though, oh my God, Levi, thank you so much for all those subs. Holy shit. Meow! I don't know. GB, what happens when people give subs on this channel?
I'll take this small and
wow! Excellent. Thank you so much, Levi. Before we get into sign-offs, though, there is one thing that, as a fan of comic books, they always do, which is the cover art compilations. So we're going to go around, and for each of these standalone stories that you would buy separately, besides obviously getting the Justice League comic that all of these characters would come on, as you do your sign-off, let me know what is the cover art that would feature your character? Like, what is the pose that they are striking in this cover art for your sign-off? Like, are they rescuing anything? Are they hanging out with good boys? Is it just like a couch scene? Like, what is your vignette? KyleWithAnN.
I think for Aurora, I think that it's her and like her typical like magical girl wand extended hero pose. But instead of being Aurora the hero, it's just Aurora as she is. No costume, no lights, no nothing. It's just her being a hero.
Hell yeah. All right. And where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey y'all, it's me, KyleWithAnN, otherwise known as KyleWithAnN on Twitter and Twitch. Twitter, I retweet a lot of shit post. Twitch, I normally stream Tuesday nights, 6 p.m. Eastern. Gonna be taking a slight hiatus as I have to reassemble my streaming setup, but it's looking like it will not take terribly long, maybe like a week or so. But then I'll be back, and I'm hoping to add more days to my streaming schedule. So yay! Stay tuned for that. You can also check me out on the Jabroni TV YouTube channel. I'm featured in the newest series, the Jabroni TV Pokemon Showdown Tournament, where we battle each other in Pokemon Showdown. The latest episode that dropped features me and a friend of the channel, Dom, as we duke it out. So definitely check it out. And last but not least, you can also hear me on some podcasts. So I'm featured in Cape Lorelei. It's an Urban Shadows actual play podcast where I play the Fae. And I'm also featured in some crossover episodes for the sister city show Isidro Beach. Those are available on Spotify. Yeah, Spotify and iTunes. But if you want something a little more casual, you can check me out in Let's Talk About It, the podcast where Cyberwolf1201, oh shit, you might know that name if you watch the Monday night homebrew campaign. We get drunk, we talk about the games that we play in and other things. That's available on anchor.fm as well as Cyber's YouTube channel. We haven't recorded an episode in a few months because life's been a little hectic, but you can catch up on the backlog and expect some things in the future. Okay, that's me. I've had a lot of fun being here, and I hope you guys have enjoyed watching. And thank you.
And GB, what is Cody / Golden Gauntlets vignette?
So the cover, we will go back to, I believe it was 1978 or so. The very first comic I ever bought with my own money. I found a quarter on the sidewalk and went to the store, and comics were still a quarter. I bought Power Man issue 1, Luke Cage. And so, yeah, so Cody's is got that 70s sort of thing where he's got the shield and he's just on the cover, and it just says Golden Gauntlet in huge gold, letters. So yeah, so that's his issue. And the like vignette as we pull out, we've got this kid who it's his like first comic. He's just a little kid and he's at the shop and he's just putting the Golden Gauntlet comic on the counter, like this is my comic, and it's that little kid excitement for it. As to where you can find me here on Thursday nights. Hopefully, a couple weeks from now, and I'll leave that to Indoor to talk about. But you can also find me Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. on Greybeard Tavern, and we are continuing until Darkest Dungeon 2 comes out. We are playing Grifflands again, where I died, and so we're starting over. But that's a good time to come in and jump on the bandwagon and have fun with us. And then you can see me every Tuesday over on Lantern Noir's channel as the two of us with like 80 some years of gaming experience betwixt us talk about all kinds of crazy subjects, everything from Star Wars to, how to make your characters better, how to DM, how to deal with problem players and other such. And that's at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Lantern Noir's channel. And that's it for me, GB. Again, love supers, love you guys. Let's see what comes next.
And speaking of what comes next, Satan.
I think for Aftershock, the cover is an angle picture of like a street. You see them like hunkered down, almost like riding a skateboard, but they're riding the earth through the street. You see a bag of Chinese food in one hand. And on her jacket, you see a pin that has a feather, one that's Aurora's wand, and one that's a golden shield. And then their visor is up. You can see the tan skin and the brown eyes, and then there's just a wink. And it says Aftershock, but in like letters that look like Earth.
Yeah, like how they always write the Hulk text, like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of thing. Yeah, I'm here for it. All right, and then where can we find you?
Hi everyone. My name is Satan or Elizabeth on the interwebs. You can find me here on Sunday nights, playing Rhyme of the Frost Maiden. Soon I'll still be here on Thursdays. You can also find me over at the Hype Goblins channel Sunday mornings, DMing for every friend of mine, and there Monday nights for the next 2 Mondays as we continue our alpha playtest of Omen's Rising, which is a new card-based TTRPG that's hopefully coming out. I am part of the project. I'm a writer and an artist in that project as well, and it is an amazing group of diverse, creative people from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different religions, and it's an amazing project. So if you can go support it, I would love you very, very much. And so far that's it. My weekend has actually gone pretty quiet until July. We'll come back with Plot Hunters over on Saturday nights at 8 p.m. EST, and in the fall we'll be back. I'll be back over at Valdrian's channel playing Dragon Age, the TTRPG. And that's me.
And Reeves, what's Caleb's vignette?
The cover we have is a slightly downward angled shot of Crow in costume perched on the edge of like some building, just very casually holding up a pair of binoculars, and he has like a sandwich hanging out of his other hand, and Mephistopheles is just perched on top of his head.
Fantastic. And then where can we find you?
Yeah, and what's up? It's me, your boy, Reeves _bot, or just Reeves, you know. You don't have to say the _bot part. I know it's kind of a mouthful, but, you know, I do like full names. If you wanted to call me, I wouldn't say no. You can find me at Reeves _bot on both Twitch and Twitter. On Twitter, I usually post about when I'm going live and what I'm playing, and then, you know, random other retweets of bullshit that I find amusing. On Twitch, play on Sundays, the Super Sultan Brothers Super Sunday Show, a show in which I hang out with any number of my friends, playing some multiplayer games, having some laughs, some gaffes, and some moments of silence for our death, because multiplayer games are hard. Anyway, we're playing Remnant from the Ashes at the moment. It's a lot of fun. Someday, the new Baldur's Gate game is gonna come out, and I'll get to play that with them, and that'll be cool. But yeah, that's me. Love you all. Great game.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hello everybody. I am the Indoor Adventurer, and this has been an absolutely incredible game. You can check out all of the VODs up on our YouTube at youtube.com/indooradventures. We do shows like this Monday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sundays. If this is your first time joining us, like I said, you can go check out the YouTube. We also have audio casts available wherever they are made for free. But for right now, we are going to be going into our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us on that Discord, and we will do our best to respond in kind. Now, before we end up going, there is one last vignette, which sets up for the sequel, if there is to be a sequel. We cut to showing the... Oh my God, Reeves, what the fuck? We have so many... There have been so many subs in this chat!
Celebration, man!
So, we cut to the wreckage of the Sedesco Center. And the camera moves in and goes through the wreckage itself to show a very small, very cramped, very dark area. And you see a cell phone. And the cell phone lights up. And on its cracked screen, you see a message that says, "How would you rate your experience?" And as the message appears, you see these small little metal dust particles, almost like they are intelligent, form into the shape of a hand, and it clicks the 1 star. And as it does, as it clicks that 1 star, the screen shifts, and you see an angered face looking back at the camera. And then it goes black. And that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So I'd like to say again, thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit over the last several months. And we will see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!